Hello, welcome back to English with Ella. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Now, if you have been listening from the beginning, you will know that the last few episodes have been a little bit eventful. There was the terrible morning, the getting lost, the accidental pregnancy announcement in French, the speech with 1 hour's notice. A lot has happened to me. Not all of it smooth. Not all of it dignified. So today, I promised you a good one. A feel-good one. A story where things actually went right. Where the day was better than expected. Where Ella, for once, came out of a situation feeling good rather than mortified. Today's story is called The Best Day I Almost Didn't Have. And the reason I almost didn't have it? I nearly stayed in bed. Which brings us to our very first word of today's episode. To drag yourself. To drag yourself. To drag yourself means to force yourself to do something when you really don't want to. When your body says no, stay here, don't move, but you make yourself do it anyway. You drag yourself. Like your feet are heavy. Like every part of you is pulling in the opposite direction. But you go anyway. Here are your examples. I dragged myself out of bed even though I was exhausted. That means I really didn't want to get up, but I made myself do it. She dragged herself to the gym even though she felt terrible. That means she forced herself to go. It was hard, but she went. Sometimes you have to drag yourself to do the things that are good for you. That means motivation doesn't always come first. Sometimes the doing comes first, and the good feeling follows. To drag yourself. And on the morning of this story, that is exactly what I did. Okay, let's go. So, the day starts badly. Not dramatically badly, not phone flying across the room badly. Just flat, gray, uninspired. It was a Saturday. I had no plans, no commitments, nothing I had to do. Which sounds like a good thing, and usually it is. But sometimes, no plans means no structure. And no structure means you just sit there, feeling a bit lost, a bit purposeless. And the weather was not helping. Which brings us to our second word, gloomy. Gloomy. Gloomy means dark, gray, and miserable. We use it for weather, a gloomy day, gloomy skies, but we also use it for mood. If someone feels gloomy, they feel low, flat, a bit hopeless. Not devastated, not crying, just gray. Like the sky. Your examples. It was a gloomy morning. Dark clouds, no sunshine, cold. That means the weather was dark and miserable. She felt gloomy all day. She couldn't explain why. She just felt flat. That means her mood was low and gray. No particular reason, just gloomy. The news made him feel gloomy about the future. That means it left him feeling hopeless and flat. Gloomy. A very satisfying word for a very unsatisfying feeling. So, there I was, Saturday morning, gloomy weather, gloomy mood, lying on my sofa in my pajamas at 11 o'clock, scrolling through my phone, achieving absolutely nothing. and I had two choices. Choice 1: stay on the sofa, order food later, watch something I had already seen, go to bed having wasted an entire day, feel slightly guilty and flat by Sunday morning. Choice 2: drag myself up, get dressed, go outside. Even though it was gray, even though I didn't really want to. I chose choice 2, but only barely. I genuinely sat on the edge of my sofa for about 10 minutes just thinking, do I actually have to? And the answer was, no, technically I didn't, but I knew that if I stayed, I would feel worse, not better. So I got dressed, I put on my coat, I opened the front door, and I stepped out into the gray, slightly drizzly Saturday. And here is where the day changes. Because I had no plan, no destination, I just started walking. And about 20 minutes later, completely by accident, I walked past a little street market I had never seen before. Stalls with flowers and bread and secondhand books and handmade things, music playing from somewhere, the smell of something warm and sweet, cinnamon, I think. And I stopped, and I thought, where did this come from? Which brings us to word number 3, to stumble upon. To stumble upon. To stumble upon something means to find or discover it completely by accident. You weren't looking for it, you weren't expecting it, you just stumbled upon it. Like tripping over something you didn't see coming, but in a good way. Your examples. I stumbled upon a beautiful little cafe while I was lost. That means I found it by accident. I wasn't looking for it. She stumbled upon an old photograph while tidying her room. That means she found it unexpectedly. It just appeared. Sometimes the best things in life are the ones you stumble upon. That means the unplanned discoveries are often the most special. To stumble upon. I stumbled upon that little market on a gray Saturday morning, and it changed everything. So I stopped at the market, and I just started walking through it. There was a stall selling old books, paperbacks stacked in messy piles, worn covers, the kind of books that have clearly been read and loved many times before. I picked one up, put it down, picked up another. I wasn't really looking for anything specific. I was just browsing, just being there. There was a woman selling handmade jewelry, tiny, delicate things on a velvet board. There was a man with a coffee cart, real coffee, the kind that smells incredible from 10 meters away. There were children running between the stalls while their parents tried to keep up. And I felt something shift. Something in my chest. That flat, gray, gloomy feeling from the morning. It was still there, a little, but it was getting lighter. Which is our fourth word. To lift your mood. To lift your mood. To lift your mood means to make yourself feel happier. To take a feeling that is low or flat or gloomy and bring it up. Lift it. Like lifting something heavy off the floor. Your mood rises. Your examples. A walk in the fresh air always lifts my mood. That means it makes me feel better, happier, less flat. She put on her favorite music to lift her mood. That means she used the music to improve how she felt. Sometimes a small, unexpected thing can lift your mood completely. That means you don't always need something big. A small moment can be enough. To lift your mood. That little market lifted mine. I bought a coffee from the cart. I found a secondhand book that I loved. An old copy, slightly battered, 2 pounds. I sat down on a low wall near the flower stall and I just sat there, watching, listening, drinking my coffee, and I lingered. Word 5. To linger. To linger. To linger means to stay somewhere longer than you planned because you are enjoying it. You don't want to leave. The place, the moment, the feeling, it's good. So you stay. You linger. Your examples. She lingered at the bookshop for over an hour. That means she stayed much longer than she intended. She didn't want to leave. They lingered over dinner, talking long after the food was finished. That means they stayed at the table, enjoying the conversation, not rushing away. I lingered at the market until almost 2 o'clock. That means I stayed much longer than I planned, because I didn't want to go. To linger. I lingered at that little market for nearly 3 hours. 3 hours. On a day I had nearly spent entirely on my sofa. And here's the thing about that day that I keep coming back to. Nothing extraordinary happened. Nobody famous walked past. I didn't win anything or discover anything life-changing. I drank a coffee, I bought a book, I sat on a wall and watched people. But it was one of the best days I can remember in a long time. Because I was present. Because I hadn't planned it. Because I had dragged myself out of the house on a gray morning when everything in me wanted to stay still, and the world had rewarded me for it. I walked home at 2 o'clock, carrying my book and my empty coffee cup, and I felt genuinely good. Okay, time for our remaining words, and these two are some of my absolute favorites from any episode so far. Really beautiful, really useful, really worth knowing. Word number 6, spontaneous. Spontaneous. Spontaneous means doing something without planning it first. Acting on instinct. Going somewhere because you feel like it, not because it was scheduled. Saying yes to something in the moment without thinking it through first. Spontaneous people are often described as fun, exciting, adventurous, because they are open to what the moment brings. They don't need a plan, they just go. Here are your examples. It was a spontaneous decision. She just booked the flight and went. That means she didn't plan it in advance. She just did it. He's very spontaneous. He never knows what he'll be doing tomorrow. That means he lives in the moment. He doesn't overplan. That was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done, and it was wonderful. That means I didn't plan it, I just went, and it was the right choice. Spontaneous. My Saturday at the market was completely spontaneous. I hadn't planned to go. I hadn't planned to stay. I just went where the morning took me. And sometimes that is exactly the right approach. And our final word, word number 7, is the one I want you to really sit with, really think about. To appreciate. To appreciate. To appreciate means to recognize how good something is and feel genuinely grateful for it. Not just to notice it, but to really feel it. To stop and say, this is good. This moment, this place, this feeling, it is good, and I am glad to be here. We often don't appreciate things until they are gone. We appreciate health when we are ill. We appreciate quiet when it is noisy. We appreciate a sunny day more after a week of rain. Here are your examples. I didn't appreciate how beautiful the city was until I left it. That means I only realized how good it was once it was no longer part of my daily life. She appreciated the kindness of strangers on a difficult day. That means she noticed it. She felt grateful for it. It mattered. I sat at that market and appreciated everything around me. That means I stopped. I looked. I felt grateful. I was present. To appreciate. Such a gentle, important word. I think the best days, the ones we remember, are often not the biggest or the most dramatic. They are the ones where we were paying attention, where we were present enough to appreciate what was in front of us. A cup of coffee, an old book, a flower stall, a gray Saturday that turned golden. Okay, let's go through all 7 words one final time. 7 beautiful words, all of them useful, all of them yours. Word 1. To drag yourself. To force yourself to do something when you don't want to. I dragged myself out of bed. She dragged herself to the gym. Sometimes you have to drag yourself to the things that are good for you. Word 2. Gloomy. Dark, gray, and miserable. Used for weather or mood. A gloomy morning. She felt gloomy all day. The news made him feel gloomy about the future. Word 3. To stumble upon. To find or discover something completely by accident. I stumbled upon a beautiful little market. She stumbled upon an old photograph. The best things are often the ones you stumble upon. Word 4. To lift your mood. To make yourself feel happier. To bring a low feeling up. A walk always lifts my mood. She put on music to lift her mood. A small, unexpected thing can lift your mood completely. Word 5. To linger. To stay somewhere longer than planned because you are enjoying it. She lingered at the bookshop for an hour. They lingered over dinner. I lingered at the market until 2 o'clock. Word 6. Spontaneous. Doing something without planning it first. Acting in the moment. It was a spontaneous decision. He's very spontaneous. That was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. Word 7. To appreciate. To recognize how good something is and feel genuinely grateful for it. I didn't appreciate the city until I left. She appreciated the kindness of strangers. I sat there and appreciated everything around me. 7 words, all real, all natural, all useful in everyday English. And now, my question for you. Have you ever had a day like this? A day that started badly, gray, flat, uninspired, and turned into something unexpectedly wonderful? Maybe you went somewhere you didn't plan to go. Maybe you stumbled upon something that made you smile. Maybe you dragged yourself out of the house and the world surprised you. Tell me in the comments. I love hearing your stories, every single one. And if you are enjoying English with Ella, please subscribe. New episodes, new stories, new natural English to take into your real life. Coming up in our next episode, I want to tell you about a night when I could not sleep. Not because anything was wrong exactly, just because my brain decided that 3 in the morning was the perfect time to think about absolutely everything. I think you might relate to that one. That episode is called My Brain Would Not Stop. Until then, keep listening, keep learning. And remember, sometimes the best days are the ones you almost didn't have. So drag yourself out of the house. You never know what you might stumble upon. See you in the next one. Bye for now.